Imagine a river of white energy. Imagine it runs from head to toe, flowing through the center of your body, allowing you to receive messages from higher power. You are still connected to the present, but allow the higher power to speak through you. May I please speak to Amy's subconscious?
Yes.
I have permission to speak to Amy's subconscious?
Yes.
Do we have permission to use Amy as a surrogate for Ricky today?
Yes.
I respect the power of the subconscious, and because I know the subconscious takes care of both Amy and Ricky's body and does a very good job of it, I also know that the subconscious has the records of everything that has ever happened to Ricky in this lifetime and all other lifetimes. He has lived. So I respect the power of the subconscious. And I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permission to ask questions?
Yes.
Why did Ricky's sister commit suicide?
She was unhappy. She felt she could not handle or ask for help. So she felt there was no other way. Immediately she regretted it. She is in the resting place, trying to recover. You're not supposed to take a human life. It's a very delicate life for each person to learn and experience with. So she's recovering. She will have another life. She just felt trapped and didn't think she could ask for help.
What help did she need?
She needed someone to understand and guide her to other possibilities. She wasn't receiving the support she needed. Didn't feel she could ask anybody because she didn't want to burden them with her problems.
Are you able to tell us what problems she was going through?
Relationship, money, social. She felt she had a lot of things she couldn't overcome or she couldn't work through. She did not come to that decision lightly, but she did what she did because she didn't want to burden anybody else. Not realizing the distress that would cause the people who knew and loved her.
Does she have a message today for Ricky?
It's a message of regret. It's a message of love. She regrets the choice that she made. But she's sending out love and comfort to them. It's not only him. There's many that need to feel the love and the comfort, and to know that she is recovering. She's watching over them as she's recovering. Whenever they think of her, that's her. And the message that follows is from her. She's okay. And she loved them very much. Which is also why she didn't feel like she could burden them with her earthly problems.
I'm sure they will take that message to their hearts and have a warmer place for her.
Don't worry about me. I am with you. I love you and I'm guiding you. Thank you for reaching out. And thinking of me. I wish I knew how much you loved me whenever I was alive.
We all loved you very much. And I know that your brother and sister really loved you. And your brother would be happy to hear this message.
I hope he shares it. It will help heal others in the family. They need to have healing. They need to love each other. That's all that they need.
Thank you. Ricky would also like to know why he is not able to see his oldest child.
His oldest child. Let me see. The mother is overprotective. She feels hurt and betrayed by the relationship. So she is trying to protect him from being hurt when there's no need. There's not much he can do. He can try talking to the mother. It's a big step, but she has a temper, so he has to approach and seem genuine and not like he's trying to betray her. Build a relationship with the mother and he'll be able to visit, have a relationship with the son. But it has to start with the mother. And not an intimate relationship, a friendly. They don't understand that. There's emotional disconnect there. Relationship. But he has to go through the mother. Yeah.
Why did the mother run off with the son?
Let me see. She was a bunch of insecurities. She thought she was doing something better for herself and her son. But she thought she wasn't being offered everything she wants in life. So she tried to do that on her own. She realizes now that would have been a good relationship. It wasn't his fault. It was her own way of thinking and her own self-possessions. He cannot mention that to her. It will make her angry. She's very short-tempered. She was not taught social intelligence or emotion. So therefore, he has to approach her and work on that relationship. Keeping both of them. Just approach it with love and understanding that she was thought she was doing what was best for her at that time. He just has to approach it with love and kindness, gentleness. It will come. Just he still has to be patient.
So if I heard you correctly, you're saying that Ricky didn't do anything. She just left to treat her, thinking that was the best choice for her.
She's a bit selfish. She's hot-tempered. She doesn't have the social intelligence to communicate effectively her needs or her wants. So she just made a decision for the baby and her and did it without considering anything. There's nothing he did wrong other than her not being able to communicate with him, with anybody but with him. She still struggles with this, but if he approaches it with love and patience, kindness, he has to talk to her for anything to change.
Does his child still want to have a relationship with him?
His child.
His oldest child.
Oldest child. Oldest child is... He's at a fun age. He's a teenager. He doesn't want a relationship with anybody he knows or a part of him. But he will defend his mom and her ideals. So, And if Ricky changes, approaches the mom, and the son will allow a relationship. He doesn't know that Ricky wants to be a part of his life, and that's something that he struggles with. Again, has to do with the mother's social intelligence, which is now impressed upon the child.
What is Ricky's purpose in life?
Ricky's purpose in life is to be patient and strong, generous, loving, understanding. He is to guide people, be a person who gives trust, understanding, builds relationships. He is a strong person. He's meant to be a light in his community, to guide people in his beliefs. Just by being him, he's on the right path. I cannot disclose future things, but everything that has happened is a reminder of things what not to do, because he didn't like the way he was treated or the experience he had went through. So he knows that he had to go through those. So he knows what not to do and how not to treat people and how to approach things. Yeah.
Is Ricky fulfilling his purpose in life?
Absolutely.
Do you have any other information about his purpose to share with him?
Ricky, you will fill many hearts with love and compassion, understanding. Be a little bit more open. Guide people with your strong but gentle knowledge. You're going in the right direction. You are a bearer of light, a beacon of hope. Yes. Yeah.
What is he truly seeking?
To be loved, to have love reciprocated, understanding the things that he gives out, he is looking to receive. There are people who love him as well. He needs to know he's appreciated. He did not choose an easy life. But if it were easy, he would not have agreed to this. This session is important for him to receive confirmation that the love and understanding he seeks is there, and we are very grateful to him for being patient and gentle and strong and courageous, picking up after everything he's been through and carrying on and making his life full and happy.
How can he attain the things that he's seeking?
Just ask. Ask, but you have to be open to receive. Allow what comes to you. You have a strong mind, but you need to allow it to happen. It will come to pass. It's very easy. Your cousin can help you. She could show you the way. The way, the truth, the light. That's what she used to use. She sometimes still uses that. And intention. Set your intention on exactly what you want. Align your emotion. How would that make you feel if you had that? Then allow what you receive. Allow it to come into your life. And more doors will start to open. Whether it's physical door or otherwise, you have to allow it. There's a block. But there shouldn't be a block, because look at everything you've already overcome. And look where you're at now. So therefore, push that block out. Release it, let it go, return it down to your feet, to the ground. Just let it go. And allow your thoughts. Your thoughts are correct. Communication. The things that you seek are also seeking you, but you have to allow it. Set your intention, your emotion, and allow. Don't get lost, because you still have to function in daily life, and you're meant for more. But that's the start. No, that's the continuation. You already started a long time ago.
You mentioned about a block. What is the block that he has currently?
He doesn't believe he can do it. But it's just that he's not allowing himself to do it. Why? Let me see. He just needs to allow himself. Give himself permission to have those thoughts, to put out the love, the understanding, the direction, guidance, and be open to receive it as well. He is very needed. He's important to his family, those around him. He's a rippling effect. He can help many. But they also have to be ready for it, just like him, in order for that to happen. So don't push or force. Be patient, gentle, understanding, and receive it. First, you have to let it go. That block that you can't do it. But you can. You absolutely can.
So he needs to get rid of the block and believe that he can do it, and then also be open to so he can receive it, right?
But like getting rid of it, I just seen in your head. It's not like you put it in the trash. You have to allow yourself, say to yourself, I don't need that. It's no longer serving me. I don't need it to hold me in this space. And then picture it just either going away from you, like catching on fire, going down to the ground, returning into the earth. Picture it leaving you. Maybe pull out a sword and disconnect that blockage. It's your imagination. You use it however you see fit, but release the blockage and believe you deserve everything that you're wanting, and then be open to allow it to come in. Don't put limitations on it. It has to be exactly the way you think. It could be any way. Just allow it to come.
All right. Why does Ricky always let people use him?
Yeah, because they see how patient and kind, strong he is. They actually look up to him. He needs to also be firm. And being firm is good. It shows your beliefs. Setting limits. That also will come in handy with the son's mother. It's okay to say no. It's okay to not allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Set a standard. You are the one that's allowing it to happen. That's why it's happening. You set the terms and conditions that everything happens to you, for you, about you. So change your thinking. Set your understanding of what you want. Just because you allow people to do that does not mean that they like you more for it. They see that you're giving, and they are taking advantage. Just set limits. Give yourself permission to say no. Give yourself structure. People also respect that. And if they stop talking to you for it, that's okay. It's not something you want or need. You have to know the difference. But you're the one setting your own rules. So, you have free will, just as they have free will to ask. You have every right to say, reply with how you feel. And if they truly want to be loved by you unconditionally, they'll still be there.
Can you tell me where this thought of his to let other people use him came from?
Let me see. Yeah, from this lifetime. He does it to have people in his life. He feels if he doesn't allow that to happen, they won't be there. It's kind of what I said previously. I'm saying it different now. It's the same. He doesn't want to feel abandoned or unwanted. So he just does it. Allows them to take more than they've asked or more than they need, and it's burning him out. He needs to set limitations for himself and for them.
Why does he start to push people away?
Okay, let me see. He's afraid that they will take advantage of him through his past experience. He has been often taken advantage of. He needs to set limits. It's okay to set limits. You decide what your worth is. You decide what your time is, how much you want to give of it, how much you want to receive. You push people away because you're afraid of getting hurt. Maybe they start behaviors or actions that you've already done, experienced, and you don't want that to happen again. So, it's okay, just at your free will. But it helps if you're upfront and just tell yourself, allow yourself to say, we can talk about this, we can go through this, but I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Allow yourself to give yourself permission to set your standard. Things will flow a little bit easier if you do that.
You said he's afraid of getting hurt. Why is he afraid of getting hurt?
Because of this lifetime. He has been hurt many times, but he decided to have those interactions coming into this life. Those are things he needed to work on. Part of the reason why He has a stutter in this lifetime. He did all these things, but in reverse, he was on the opposite end of them in a different lifetime. So in this lifetime, he had to come in and learn how to be gentle, how to be kind, how to be patient, how to receive emotion, social interaction, the way that everything is all by design. He designed it based off of another lifetime where he was on the opposite side. He took advantage of people. He talked mean to them. He was actually a very wealthy man who talked very mean and was just awful to people. So I came back this lifetime on the receiving end to learn to work through that.
Okay. Why is it so hard for Ricky to trust those he should and not the ones he shouldn't?
I've been explaining this. But trust the ones you should.
Why is it so hard for him to trust those he should? And because he currently trusts the ones that he shouldn't.
Because he thinks the ones that he shouldn't is the ones he needs to help. Again, that's the mirror reflection of the person he used to be in another lifetime. So he can also identify with that. So he thinks in some way he can help them as he's on the receiving end. These are all lessons that he has to learn, but he has to discipline himself and set his intentions, set the limits. That's important on how much he's willing to give of himself and how much he wants to receive. All these are his choices. Once he starts doing that, the things he actually wants will start to fall into place. And he'll have better judgment. But right now, he's allowing it to happen because he thinks on some level he can help them. And that's the purpose of his life. He cannot help them because he himself is trying to make up for that experience of being on the receiving end. But he's identifying with them because previous life that was him. So he just needs to set standards, limits, and approach it with intention, the actual intention he wants to receive, not the intention that I kind of get it like he can fix them and help them. That's not how it works. Sometimes helping people is not doing it for them. That's important to know.
Yes. And he would also like to know, why does he give into sexual desires so easily?
Does he not want to? Okay, well, you have to set, let me see. you want to change that intention, you have to get in line. Like, think of exactly what you want. You must be thinking of what you want. If you want to change, you can. If you, it's not as simple as that. You have to have a burning desire of wanting to change, for that to change. But let me see, where does that come from? Childhood? He was abused in childhood, and he got that thinking through childhood. I want to say someone close to him, but also not close. But that's where it comes from. He's associating that with the desires of what he wants now. But if you think of other things, other possibilities, the same way you think about that, and those desires, just change your thought process with that same emotion, and it will change.
Okay. We'd like to know why is his temper so hard to control?
Because he feels trapped. It's a little different from his sisters. But once he sets limits, he can still be strong and gentle, thoughtful, kind, compassionate, caring. But he has to change his thought process. And all these questions are related. He feels trapped, emotionally stunted. You have to talk about your feelings. Whether that's to someone you trust. You need to talk with someone you trust. And you need to release all the guilt you feel from life experiences. Most of it's not your fault. It was just a learning process. But you hold on to a lot of guilt and shame, but there's no need to. Everything you experienced was to learn from and to set you on the path that you wanted to be on.
Where does his temper come from?
The guilt and shame. What do you call it? Not being able to express yourself, or discuss how you actually feel. It's an important part to share those things. It might be hard to hear, but they were just experiences. They were just lessons to learn from. And to show that you learned the lesson, you must continue to go through them. If you don't learn the lesson, you continue to go through them. So once you've learned it and you take those steps to change your actions, whether it's thought, you have a lot of thoughts, whether it's emotional, you are not restricted in any way, in any capacity. You feel you are, but you're not. You just need to make time for yourself. Quiet yourself down. Allow yourself to be and to think. Think of if you could change one thing right now. One small thing, what would it be? And what should you do right now to change that action so you're not that thing that you don't like? You can do it. You just have to take time for yourself. Allow yourself 20, 30 minutes a day just to think about you and the person you want to present to the world. Think about all your hardships. If you have nobody to talk to that you trust, write it down in a journal. You don't have to keep it. You can create a fire and burn it up, and it will be gone. As long as you start, not only think it, but start emulating the actions in the direction you want to be, the person you want to be. It's not just one thought, but one thought will definitely start it. And then take actions to do it. Start with a daily. Focus on you. Focus on that intention, the thing that you want to change. Do it for a month. And once you'll start to notice other people noticing that you've changed. So then you start on the next intention. It may take a month. It may take months, a year. It may take a while. But you have lifetimes to get through it. You can work through it in this lifetime. But you have to really want to. And you have to take the steps needed. Set limits on what you'll tolerate. Because everything that's happening, you're allowing to happen.
Why must he feel pain to feel normal inside?
Mm-hmm. What is human normal? First, in continuation with everything else that I have said, normal. Whose definition of normal are you trying to obtain? You set the limits for normal. You set the terms and the conditions for which you receive that normal. you want a different outcome, you must take the steps to get to your normal. By doing what you're doing, you're allowing it. We do not like that. The human body is something to be treasured. It is your temple life. In that lifespan, it's very difficult to bring a human into the world. So to see a body disfigured, transformed, harmed, injured in any capacity is very heartbreaking. Not a soul's journey is to harm themselves or others in any lifetime. Humans do more harm to themselves than anything else. And it's a gift to have a life, to have the life that you desire. You must take the steps needed to get to that desire. The change starts with you and your way of thinking, the actions that you have, and your thoughts, your intentions. You have to set your intention. Sometimes that's an inward thought. But we hear you. We're here for you. We can help you. You just have to allow it. And you to take the steps necessary to the person you want to be. You will see it. Other people will see it. Yeah.
Why can't he stay focused?
Focused. Hold on. He's too busy thinking about everything else. He needs to stop thinking. Take time for himself. Think inward. I guess self-reflection, self-thought. A little bit of time for yourself. If you had such and such, how would that look like? If you were whatever, job, car, house, this type of lifestyle, the thing that you want to be and do, what would that feel like? What would that look like? Allow those thoughts to come in. You don't have to feel guilty about thinking those thoughts. Anything your heart desires, you could have. You just need to ask and allow. We see your true intention. You have steps to take to get away from where you're at, that you need to decide it's time. Once you make that decision and start doing the actions of thought, inward thought for yourself, you will change and you'll change the people around you.
Why Why does he always doubt himself to the point of believing that he can't do things?
Well, that's a human flaw. It's easier just not to do it and just give up than to try. Because what if you try and fail? But I say to you, what if you try and succeed? You give up on yourself. Go inside. Treat yourself how you want to treat others, how you want to be treated. It will emulate. Your son is watching. Your spouse needs that. People around you need that. But it all starts with you. You control everything. How things happen, when they happen, what you allow, what you tolerate, how much you receive. Stop feeling guilt or shame. Those were for experiences. That you wanted, so that way you weren't that way to other people. But in saying that, it is okay to draw limits, set limits for you, for them. They'll appreciate that. What's meant to be in your life will find a way if you allow it.
So why does he feel that? Why must life seem so hard?
You signed up for it. Every obstacle, every lesson you wanted, so that way you could overcome a different lifetime where you had more than enough. But you are not a nice person. You did not help others. You did not share with others. You were very mean and rude. So you chose to come back this lifetime to experience the hardships that you impressed upon others, so that way you could understand the opposing side of what you did. You did not speak nice towards others. You were very quick to make a decision, no matter what the cost, even if it cost the other human their life in a previous life. This life, you're on the receiving end. But that's something you chose. They're all for lessons. There is a purpose to it. You will grow your understanding. If you allow it. It's not only you and things that are happening to you. Because it's you and then the people it affects around you, as you experienced with your sister's passing. How hurt and how deep you felt about that. That's how other people around you are connected. You have you could show more compassion and understanding. Ask for guidance if you need it. Set your intention and allow yourself to be changed. But you have free will. You can experience life how you want.
Why at times does he feel as if he's not in control of his own being?
Because you are a light bearer. You bear light to emulate to those around you. It's not so much that you're not in control. You just are amazing. I see trying to raise your frequency, but something always causes you to think you're not good enough to receive that, but you are. You just have to allow it. You are being tested, always being tested, so that way you can tell your story. Somebody's going to relate to it and be able to change, to overcome what they've been through as well.
Can you explain to him what a light bearer is?
A light bearer is a bearer of light. If you allow it, go into your thoughts, focus on yourself, start making the changes as you see to the person you want to be. You will start attracting like energies, lighter energies, people that you can help or just talk with over anything, the emotional bond, the emotional trauma, to grow, to learn from, share your experience. By sharing even the deepest, most hurtful trauma, you could help many. Because most people, like your sister, think they're in it by themselves. But they're not. And if people would talk about their hurt, their pain, all the desires that they don't want that has happened to them, and they'll start to move past it. So you could be that person to allow the light in and use what you've been through to help others. Light bearer, you have the light within you.
So why does he feel so lost in this world and alone?
Yeah. This lifetime, besides for all the obstacles and challenges, he chose to be a light bearer as well. So therefore, you feel guilt and shame for receiving or being able to receive more, better than what you think you should. But you could ask for anything and it will be given. You have to go inward. You have to open up. You have to share. For these things to continue to open up and develop. You don't feel like you're a part of this world, but you're very much a part of this world. You're a very important part. Every life is important. Every life has its lessons. You are to help others overcome. But in order to do that, you have to overcome them yourself. If you can't, that's okay. But that is part of your mission. So you have schools that you've attended. To help you bring in this light and focus your energy. And you really enjoy the schools. They're not on this plane. They're on a different plane. And while you're there, you enjoy them. And when you come back to your physical being, it's hard for you because it's so easy and flowing there. But when you're back in your body, it's very restricting.
What schools has he been to?
Schools that will show him how to bring the light, how to share, how to have more, live life abundantly, how to communicate. Schools from lifetimes of learning anything he experiences. He goes to the school and he puts in the information and he's around other light bearers and they're sharing and caring and strong and try to support one another. It's an amazing comfort and loving feeling that whenever you go back to the human form, and it could seem like a blink of an eye that you're there for months on end, and then when you go back, it's very restricting because you're limited in your beliefs in your human form. But you know that there's other ways of thinking. And it could be better. You have to bring what you know down and emulate it out so others like you can do the same. You're not alone, you just feel alone. Because you bottle it up inside, which is probably why you feel a lot of the emotions you do. Release the emotion, find an outlet for yourself. Some way that you can release it.
Why have all of his relationships ended with him being cheated on?
He allows it. And feels hurtful at the time, but hold on, let me look. It's what he's allowing to happen. It's not always his choice. It looks like he's giving a lot. And that, the cheating, doesn't have to do with him. Those are lessons for him. But the lesson of someone cheating. Let me look. And it goes to them. They're emotionally stunted and don't know how to communicate their needs. Or it's allowed. I'm not sure what allowed means. Allowed.
When you say it's allowed, he's allowing it or the other person is allowing it?
It's a mutual allowance. Both are allowing it. But they act like it's a personal attack on themselves. Him. It's a personal attack on him. Hold on, let me look. So, cheating in general is just seeing what you can get away with. Relationship cheating is trying to intentionally fulfill your needs. With little to no regard to the other person's emotional needs. It's, again, what can you work through and set your intentions to be?
So if he changes his intention, his future relationships won't have that same course?
Cannot disclose. It's a lesson he's still learning.
Tell me more.
Cannot disclose. He has not learned the lesson.
Okay. And he would also like to know, is he destined for failure, or is it a future out there for him where he's successful?
The choice is yours. Whatever you choose, that's what will be. Everything you do happens to you or for you is your choice, or the choices you made to that point. So if you want a specific outcome, that's what you focus on.
When he chose this life, was in agreement at that point for the failures that have happened so far in his life?
Yes, they were all lessons. They all have a purpose. I've already explained this.
So his future, though, is bright?
His future is whatever he wants it to be.
Okay.
We do not discuss the immediate future. He has to think for himself. If he cannot do that, he needs to fulfill his contract, live this life.
Is he on, let's call it, the right path from the agreement of the original contract?
He is learning his lessons. They're all for a greater purpose. Some lessons he still has not learned. Some lessons he has, but he needs to take moments to go inside, reflect, release some of that, all the shame and guilt. That doesn't mean you release the lesson. That releases the feelings, the emotions you have from that lesson. The only one who's condemning yourself is you. You were supposed to experience those, and you did. Some lessons you have already learned, so you will not repeat. Some lessons you still have to learn.
Okay. Then why does he have the speech stutterment?
I covered this already.
Does it originate from this lifetime, though, or from a past?
It's from a past lifetime, where he talked bad and spoke terrible of other people. So he had to come back with that to learn what it's like to live life with that. That was a life lesson. He found how it is to live with that. We can bring healing in, but he has to be the one to release the guilt and the shame built around it and allow himself inner quiet time and the thoughts will become more fluid. Therefore, the speech will correct itself if he chooses. Allow the light to come in. And then it will start to fix itself. But it has to be his choice.
Okay. Has Amy and Ricky had past lives together?
Yes. Let me see. Interesting. She was his servant in the previous life. But now she's trying to help him in a different way in this life.
Can you recall the day Amy went with her grandma to visit Ricky, his family, but Ricky was not outside?
Yeah, they weren't visiting. They were selling Avon. Amy was putting books on doors. They were just driving by and seeing all the kids outside playing. Yes. Except for Ricky. Amy asked, "Where's Ricky?" Yep.
Can you explain what was going on with Ricky that day?
Yeah, she knows. Even though she didn't see him, she's seen what was happening at that time. She had pictured him lying in the bed and adult woman on top of him. I want to say he was closing his eyes, or I don't know, she was making him do stuff he didn't want to do. But Amy could see this, even though she was outside in the car. Like, she's seen it in her mind. She tried to get her grandma to go inside, knock on the door to make it stop, but her grandma wanted to put books on doors, which Amy ran to put books on doors. But she tried to stop it. She was just 11 and she couldn't. She's sorry about that.
That's also where some of his problems come in. He also, at the time of this lifetime, didn't know any better. He also didn't understand why he was being treated so different from the other kids. And he was told a bunch of stories to manipulate him. And that's where some of the manipulation comes in, where he allows it. Because he was manipulated. Let me see. For a while. It wasn't just one incident. He was manipulated. There was nothing that he could do. He was just a child. But he doesn't have to hold on to any of that or let that control him now. He's the one in charge of his thoughts, his feelings, his emotions. There are outlets. There are ways to get rid of it. Release it. You can't get rid of it. It already happened. Cannot change the outcome because it already happened. You just change how you feel about it. Stop tormenting yourself. Stop holding yourself accountable for those that was her choice and her karma and judgment. She just forced upon you. But that's where some of your beliefs, the guilt, the shame come from. Allow yourself to get rid of that. You are a victim, but you're not anymore. Stop holding yourself as if you are.
Why is Amy drawn to her connection with Ricky?
Oh, because she served him in another life. She was a servant to him. They had a good bond. It wasn't hurtful. She used to show him how to release a lot of this and how to move past it. She used to help him if he allows it. He's got to be truthful with himself. Get past all the judgment that he's inflicted on himself and allow himself time to grow. However long that is.
Do you have any messages for Ricky today?
We're here. Oh wow. Is that your intention? Oh wow. Once you make up your mind, set your standard. Stick to it. You're doing a good job. You are acceptance and allowing will be on your side. Just ask and allow. It's funny, and your sister says she forgives you for shooting her with a BB gun. It's supposed to be funny. I don't know.
It's funny to me, so.
Okay.
Is there any other message for Ricky?
When you're here and you want to continue connection, you must remember to go inward. Moments of quietness and stillness. Don't be afraid. Let go of judgment. Whatever you ask, we see your intention. We would like to offer you the world, but you have to learn your lessons so you can be a bearer of light in everything you ever thought you wanted to be, you could be.
I'm sure Ricky will enjoy hearing that message. Amy has one question for you. She wanted to know about Lamaris's birthmark. If you can tell us where that was located on her.
It's on her abdomen.
Can you tell us where or why she has it?
Let me see. In a previous life, a rock was dropped on her, crushing her organs and lung. That's how she died. It's just a residual. It's not sickness or hurtful in any way. There's two, but it's from a rock that had fallen in a different lifetime.
Is the birthmark just as a reminder for?
Let me see. Oh, something she was afraid of she didn't need to be afraid of. It's a lesson in this lifetime. She carried forward. That's why we couldn't answer it the other day when they were in session. We intentionally blocked that out so it wouldn't be asked. But I think her frequency is raised high enough now. We can just say it's from a rock that had fallen on her, crushing her organs and lungs. It was a reminder not to be fearful, trust, and allow. She brought in the confidence she needs to allow herself to proceed so she could succeed. Yep. She raised her frequency in Spain enough to hear it now.
Why was the rock dropped on her abdomen?
She was afraid of going. Let me see. Going up from where she was. It was almost a primitive life. She started to get curious and go explore. But the ground shook. She got scared and went back to the comfort of what she knew. In the process of going back, the rock fell on her. Had she not come back and kept going forward, she would have not been crushed.
So she needs to
Go forward.
go forward. and not be
Continue what
scared.
she's doing. Yes, not be scared. Which, yes.
I am sure she will be happy to hear that message.
Yes.
Now I am asking the subconscious to receive to where it belongs, with much love and thanks for the help and information it has been given Amy, Ricky, and Lamaris today. I know they are really going to appreciate it. But as they listen to the recording and go over the material and put it into place, it will not bother them in any way, mentally or physically. That is very important. It will not bother them in any way, mentally or physically.